industrial, by Farola, by Oli, yeah. Your Myanmar, the name, that's a non-Myanmar name. The Myanmar name, I know what is so. Yes, still remember the school. Okay. I think the conference has addressed the importance of value. So I skip this, right? These are the importance of making sure that everybody, because you know in Malaysia, for those who are not from Malaysia, there was a survey done a few years ago among the higher education degree seeking students. If they were working and they were given prize, they were given prize, would they accept? And we were very surprised because they said yes, and not 10% or 20%. It was more than that. It's very shameful to be a Malaysian and tell you this, but that's why, because when you don't have it. So that's the reason for the movement in value-based education. Okay. Now, AIU's educational model is a little bit unique. As we said just now, we start from faith and values. So we have the five A's. The 5 A's is basically internal values. It's about faith and internal values. And then, if you have values, but you do not translate it into your life and make sure that it is part of your everyday doing. If you don't do that, then you lose it. That's why we imbibe in our students the 8-hour rule. So that although you can't really do it every day, but it's in your mind that there are portions of your life that for you, there's a portion of your life for your body to rest. There's a portion of your life where you should be contributing to society. And that's what the 8-hour rule. And if you've got the values, and you know how to shape your daily life, or weekly life, or monthly life. Right? And then we want you to be able to do something with it. Contribute back to society. That's where we imbibe the values of, although we say 3 zeros, which is zero, tell me, and zero poverty, zero unemployment. Of course, we know zero is impossible, but that is a vision. But it's not just those zeros, although those zeros are in the SDGs. It's the whole SDGs. But we choose this because these are the most important. Zero carbon emission to ensure that the planet or where we live is going to survive in the future. Poverty and unemployment. You need to make sure people from the Maslow hierarchy of needs, that people get out of level 1 and level 2 so that they can contribute. Okay. Let's go to the pillar 1. Pillar 1 is our 5A core values. We start from a pillar, faith and purpose. Although the university is not an Islamic university in the sense of the courses that we teach, we don't have Sharia, Sudi, Qiraat, we don't have that. We only have the School of Education and Human Sciences, we have the School of Computing and Informatics, and we have the School of Business and Social Sciences. So the courses are So we don't do engineering or medicine, and people ask, why not engineering and medicine? And thesis, one medical student, I fund one medical student, I can fund 50 business, education, and computer science. Right? And that person, that doctor, will most probably be rich himself, but not create businesses or for others. So that's his philosophy. Same thing with engineering. One engineering, and most engineers tend not to create businesses for the community, but mainly for themselves. So, and then, of course, faith without akhlaq and adab. Akhlaq is your ethics, your virtue, and adab is basically etiquette. Adab is the final art of your akhlaq. Okay? Your akhlaq can be, I will always say the truth. But how you say the truth is adab. Right? If I'm wrong, but I'm still older than you. You are not even half. So to me, they have 2 bedrooms in the AIU. He says, but I'm not even half your age. I say, yeah, but I never had 3 surgeries on my back. Oh, you do. So you sleep in my room. And I sleep. Basically, it's around me. But I'm not even half your age. Whether I'm 65. Alhamdulillah. So that's adab. So this values, and of course, you have all of this, but if you don't have this, the country or the organization you work with is going to be shambles. Might be rich, and you have all of this, but you don't amal, if you don't put it in action, it's of no use. So this is something very important to us. And for us, lecturers in AIU, this is what we are asked to remind every day. For those who were in my class, you get reminded every day now. Those who are in my class, you get reminded. Out there, make sure they do zero carbon emission. Future business, make sure they do zero poverty and zero unemployment. If you come to AIU, you don't see cars in the campus because they are all underneath the campus. People come in, good, and one end to the other end of AIU is only about 10 minutes walk, right? 10-15 minutes walk. But of course, some of my students also, it's only 5 minutes walk from their hostel. They come 10 minutes late. I don't know what. But no, so everything is put in. For example, our computer science. science program. It's a very good program. I had a few students who graduated with like 3.68, 3.7, and I had a niece and a nephew in MMU. They said, you know, your students coming to do our masters here, their CGPA is really good. I said, yes, but the program is tough. And then I asked, does that mean that they are not good? Or they are among our best students? To get that from the dean and both I have an idea and niece there. So they're not saying. And we, strangely enough, they do a lot of community engagement, teaching people in the rural areas, students in the rural areas, and they go to rural areas and try to make sure that the young people who are into business, they teach them social media marketing, and even up to the point where they set up Shopee accounts for this people. Like Malang graduate. Malang graduate, oh she, have you all eaten this graduate? Graduate pisang Malang? Oh, her graduate. And then, but she was only selling in Bali. The business student and computer science student went to help her, put everything in Shopee. One day we were going to visit her in Bali, and Malang was not there. We said, where's Malang? Malang is taking a holiday in Thailand. Malang, who was very difficult to even get people to buy, now have holidays in Thailand. So because we taught her with package, and now she's getting a lot of orders. So even her daughter that graduates is now working for her. Daughter graduate degree, working for her, helping her business. So Malang can do just the cooking, because the daughter already takes care of. And it was all done by our business and marketing students and our computer science students. And we have, as I said just now, we have some subjects that we put in to make sure that there is integration of all the 5 A's within the curriculum. And the second pillar is about their life. We want them to understand that we say in our rule, what it means is you must partition your life into 3. That's the key. It's not so much 8 hours. It is 1, you put sleep. Essentially 1 is for you to rest. You must rest. Because he doesn't rest. You sleep at 4 o'clock, right? 5 o'clock. Youngsters, normal. Because you know why sleep is important? Because if you don't sleep, the body doesn't recover to do the other 2. Rest is very important, or else as you age, you get less and less, you can contribute less and less because the body. I'm 65, and people sometimes say, but you look like us. Why? Because when I want to go to sleep, all I do is, after the weekend, I lie down, Al-Fatiha, Kursi, the 3 books, 3 times, boom. That's it. My wife can say what she wants to say, I'm out. And I'm up again at 5. So enough rest. When you have enough rest, you can be energetic like this. I mean, I drove last night. I drove yesterday from Al-Basra. Right? I'm still not coming here driving my kids. Last time my students come to class. Yeah. Why? Not enough sleep. Especially the Yemenis. Yemenis sleep at 5, and then they go to the mosque, and then 6 o'clock they go to the mosque, they come back from the mosque, and then they sleep until 1 o'clock. Oh, and then 8 hours is, if you are working, then this is, I believe in this. And Shell, the company Shell, they believe in this. For Shell, if you are still in the office is supposed to end at 5 or 5:30. If you are still in the office, it means you are not productive. There's something wrong with you. You don't know how to. So at Shell, 5:30, 6 o'clock, you're gone. Why? Because they understand this. So for our students, we make sure we try to, but you know. So 8 hours is for them, for their self-development, for their study. And another 8 hours we tell them is for service to the community. You must give back what you have received. Remember this, whatever you sow will come back to you. Right? And the beauty of sowing is this. You know that when you plant rice, you're only sowing one seed. But what comes out is, and that's fitrah that Allah has given to us human. That you sow a little, but you will get a lot. And believe. That's why in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, it says, giving charity is like planting a seed, with a tree that will grow into 7 branches, and each branches will have 100 right? Meaning, at least 700 back. Anything is fitrah. Allah says, you sow, you do good. You sow, you will get more. It's like having a wife. You plant a seed, your wife will not give you a seed, your wife will give you a leaf. Wives are like that. They give more than what is given. So the more you give, the better you will. That's not just seed. Okay, 8 hours is service work. As long as you divide. As long as you divide your life, that every day you must serve the community. Every day you must serve. Do something. That's why I'm so afraid when people say, Dr. T, can you talk, about Palestine or whatever? I say, I will always say yes. You know why? Because I'm afraid in Yawm al-Akhirah, Allah will say, you were free that night. Why didn't you? Because you are supposed to always give back. You are supposed to always give back. That's the second pillar. Meaning the first one is your whole character. What is inside you. The second one is you understand that, okay, this is me. This is for my rest. This is for my self-development or my income. And then another third is for the community. Always give back. And remember the fitrah, the nature of the nature that Allah has made in this world is whatever you give, you will receive more. Understand that. Whatever you give, you will receive more. And And of course we institutionalize that, right? We make sure that any programs that students will be encouraged. I remember, not last year, 2 years ago, Kementerian Pendidikan, the Ministry of Education happens to have all their competitions posted by Kedah. When I found out about that, I went to see the people in Jabatan Pendidikan Kedah. I said, use ARU and my students. So we had about 6-8 of the competitions there. Why? Because we want to make sure that the students gain experience and they compete. And the facilitators were the students, and they were so good that some of the teachers actually leave their contingent and to go to Aman Center. And then the main organizer said, "Hey, you're not supposed to leave your students. Those are just facilitators." But they taking care of them. No, that's your responsibility. Come back. I remember that. Because they had to brief the teachers who were the chaperones. Those are your responsibility. But because they enjoyed what they were doing. And the third pillar is the 3 zeros framework. Now they understood what they should be as a person with the 5 A's core value, and they understand that there is a portion for them to contribute to society. They wanted to contribute. Now we tell them, this is how you contribute. Contribute to make sure that the world, that Mother Earth, will be sustainable in the future. Make sure that everybody can live a life. And one of the ways is to make sure everybody at least are employed or become business. And all of this is done within the framework of social business. So that's why we have courses on sustainability and society, courses on social business. I love teaching social business. I really love teaching social business. My students don't love me teaching social business, but I love social business. And as well as we have entrepreneurship and innovation. Those 3 courses is supposed to make sure that you know how to contribute. And that is the third pillar of our value-based education. First is the 5A values. Second is your 8-hour rule. And the third is how do you put that in action. And the focus now is this. Why? Because our students are supposed to be change agents when they go home. And they go home, their community, because they were taken or they apply coming from an underprivileged community. So we want to make sure they go home back as change agents by doing this or something in this area, so that the community is no longer underprivileged. Can you imagine if you all go home and each place that you go, you are able to create social business that people then can go. Can you understand? If you don't do, I don't give you he's my supervisor. I will make sure. No, not right. It's a good son of mine, very good son of mine. So we've done a lot of things on skill building for the community. We actually go. You know that ERP does a lot of these things. I don't know if you know that. You know that? Okay. Oh yeah. And entrepreneurship training, and we also try to do international exposure. That's why one one of our course in the School of Business is Politics and International Relations. And then another one is Social Development. So we have Bachelor in Social Development, Bachelor in Politics and International Relations. Because we want this and these people to also contribute. So we don't want students who are just job ready, who are just academically good, but we want them, and actually we don't even want them to be job ready. Actually, if you ask he doesn't want you to be job ready. What does he want you to be? Job ready. That's why we put social business, entrepreneurship, and innovation and sustainability. Because there are a lot of problems in sustainability and the society that needs to be solved. And most of what needs to be solved can be turned into a business. And if you can turn it into a business, and what is the premise of the business? A business means it will keep on, it has to be sustainable, or else you don't call it a business. Not like my business. Started 2000 and collapsed in 2011. I was an IT entrepreneur from 2000 to 2011. So I used to be a millionaire once. For a few years. Bismillah. But this was easy for me because I like teaching while I was doing my business. I also taught part-time in Aminuddin and Indiraza. So there was no problem going back to teaching. Teaching is enjoyable. Zero poverty. We do a lot of community part, and because there are two areas in Kedah, Sikh and Bali, which is just close to each other. That Simultas says these are the poorest in Kedah, so we tend to do a lot of work there. We are asking him permission to do in Yan as well, because Sikh has gone up to number 3 poorest in Kedah from number 2. Yan is become number 2 poorest. Bali is still the poorest. But Bali has a lot of potential, especially in tourism. Bali has a lot of potential, especially in tourism. And of course, RE. Sikh and Bali RE. Trillions. And we do a lot of collaborations with especially zakat institutions. And of course, the core values. And zero net carbon, this is totally net. For example, we had a few, but these are some of more well known. The therapy lab does from discarded oil, they turn it into candles and aromatic candles that is actually therapeutic candles. Very, very nicely done. Scented candles. Posties, recycles fabrics. So, for example, jeans or things like this, instead of being discarded, those that are discarded, they make very nice pencil boxes and very good high quality from all those things. Plastico, take plastics and recycle, and many more. These are just some examples. Because I know I will always go over time, so I need that. And posties, for example, in the global social business conference, they won the first prize, and the others as well. They've gone to other events on social business, and they are given recognition. Of course, the problem is how do you assess that we can do this. We try to make sure that within the students' projects that it has something to do to help. I really commend the early childhood students. Early childhood students, for example, just last semester, they went to orang asli village in Lenggong, which is very far from Amistad. And from the highway, you have to travel like 4x4 for another 1 or 2 hours, 4 hours. But they went there for 3 nights, 2 days. To do what? To bring the love of reading and teaching. So they did a lot of storytelling, because we have put in them that they must contribute, and contribute especially to those that need. But we don't do, because the yayasan is very, they always tell us never do a one-touch program. So we have actually been going to that community from the BMC, Bachelor in Media Communication. We created projects there that we tell the world about their stories. So we did a series of documentaries. So we know these people now, we touch them in education, and we will keep doing this with that community. And that's the only way you can see growth in your student, and understanding of what it is to be a person who contributes. And you know, you've been to this places when you contribute, how you nice touch. And that's the beauty. Receiving is not as nice as giving. Giving just gives you a certain level of satisfaction. Giving doesn't mean money. Knowing that somebody has learned, enjoyed what you do is enough. And so AIU's action loop is basically based on that. The 5S framework, the 8-hour rule to enable practical structured community engagement, and then the 3 zeros initiative, so that they will deliver something tangible. Of course, challenge, how do we make sure that we can do it across programs? Not easy, but we try to. I know, especially early childhood, they do a lot of these things, and even SCI, they do also, and BE, and even our business is. If you go through the Facebook of AIU, Al-Qaeda International University, you go through all the Facebook of International, you will see so many. It's like every week we didn't know, oh, people are doing that, oh, people are doing that. You know, it's happening. You might not know, but it's actually opening, because we want to make sure that it happens on the ground. It's not just theoretical in nature. Sounds so big. Recommendation for global implementation, but hey, why not? And this is something we had formal rubrics before, but it didn't really work. So we are doing now a 2-year research on coming out with a better assessment rubrics. We just started the research in June by Dr. Bakari, Prof. Malik, and the rest. So hopefully by sometime by next year we will start to have a framework of how do we make sure that we can measure better than the previous two that we had. It looks good, but we know that it's lacking. So we're trying to do that as well. And document at scale in our group, and of course promote the model. And our model is very simple, the 3 pillars. One is tackling the character first. Second is telling them that a part of your time is to contribute to others. And the third pillar is how do you contribute? That's why we form the message 3030, because that gives you an avenue of, rather than all of the sustainability goals, these are the most important among the sustainability goals as things that you can contribute and do in where they come from. So, reputable framework for the future. We believe with what's happening that the model works, faith-based, value-driven, impact-oriented education. We have a lot of community partnerships, and that is going on. And let me see whether I can, before the discussion and questions, I actually, if you go through these are examples of the programs that we have, especially with communities. This one was then going to a community, and these are the men. See, these were then to the community, and it's like there's always something happening, especially with the they don't go up. Oops. Of course, if you go to AIU, it's like every month there's one, 2 or 3 celebration of independence and cultural days. Last night was Nigeria, yeah? Last night. We do a lot of programs for school children, especially STEM programs. One more minute. 1 or 2 more minutes. But do if you have time, do try to look at our this one was with Okayama University. We were doing for climate change education. Anyway, I guess that's all. We don't have time for Q&A.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Associate Professor. That is, so we open for question and answer. Any question or answer, please?
Any question? Now you know why you exist. Huh?
Okay, we have one question.
Sure.
Yes.
So thank you for the presentation. I was curious to learn more about the as well, or is it generally social, or how does the curriculum work?
Okay. For the business school of business students, they learn entrepreneurship on the normal. For non-business students, we focus on social business.
I see.
That's our focus. So we teach social business, meaning that social business is basically you have a social problem, you provide a solution, and make that solution a business. And because it's a business, it will be sustainable. That's the key. And you're going back to, instead of making you richer, you use it. That doesn't mean you can't pay yourself higher. You can. That's no problem. There's a lot of money. But if you can replicate, then you take the money, replicate. For some of them, they have the money, they have extra. They don't take the extra money. They buy, for example, computer tablets for schools in Baling, and they bring it there, or they do other things. So our focus is social business is our focus. That's why our chancellor, the university, is Prof. Muhammad Yunus, the current caretaker of Bangladesh, caretaker PM, Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Because he is like the father of social business, so that's why he's our chancellor.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? If not, I will answer the question. For example, do you have like collaboration, or maybe you go to the students' country to do projects or activities?
Okay. At the moment, because we are new, we can't say we are new. We've been operating, Alumni University has been operating since 2010, but it's been rejuvenated. Difficult word, especially with Dutch code. Not enough, the rejuvenation of started in 2018. Yes, we are starting. We have one student in Liberia. In Liberia, do you know that in Liberia, according to him, right, and his friends from Liberia, that one textbook is shared by 20-30 students. They don't have enough. And textbook is so expensive, the normal people can't buy textbook. So he created textbooks. And we edited textbooks and things. So it's back there now, and we have funded him. And then there's a group from Sudan. Sudan is having a war problem. So there's schools. Some places there's no school. So we created an NGO. So we supported that NGO so that they are able to create some sort of schooling for the children. Even here, she's from Indonesia, right? Even from here, the Indonesians who are working here, their children cannot really go to public schools. So they have their own schools, and our Indonesian students will actually go there in the weekends and teach, especially from the School of Education. They will actually go there and teach. Even Rohingya from Myanmar, we go there and teach. Now that we are starting to have graduates in the last couple of years, we are already looking at how to fund our students who are creating the social business. But if they create a social business, if they create normal business, we won't. But if we create a social business, we know that it's going to expand. For example, on what I'm writing now is what I'm proposing for the foundation is like a franchise version of early childhood, because we know in most of these countries early childhood is just starting. It's not there yet. And I found out a way of doing it. For example, we give them funds to start off using our model, giving them funds to start off, but they will have no share of the company until the next year. The next year you make a profit, you take 10%. So finally, they will own 60% after 6 years. They will own 60%, it's theirs, but we still have 40%. Why we want to have 40%? Because we don't really want the money. But if you already have 10 times 40, 400%, I can establish another 4. Right? So we have debated about this, and the business model is a workable business model. And early childhood seems to be very good for where they come from, because it's not there yet. It's there, but for the rich.
Thank you, Professor. Okay, as then we would like to invite Dr. Amran to present token of appreciation to Associate Professor Dr. Tukusharu. Give a round of applause. Thank you, Dr. Amran, and also thank you to Prof. We end our session here, and we have morning refreshment in front of the auditorium, and we will be back at 11 for our parallel session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.